Hey gang, City Manager Jason Slowinski here with you again today. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. I surprised myself a little last week in actually being able to get a video out to you all and have it delivered to you successfully with very little assistance from our communications team. They did help me get the link together and send that out. But so I thought since I got the technology to work last week, I'd do it again this week. I got some great emails back from some of you who said you appreciated this format. And I didn't get a chance to reply to everybody, but since it worked well for you, I thought I'd give it another shot this week. I know there's some burning questions on your mind based on some of the feedback that I had gotten, so I thought I'd start by answering those. The first question that came up was, are you wearing pants? Thought it was a little bit of an odd question, but in fact I am right there. Hopefully you can see that in the video. And I wanted to end some speculation that perhaps I wasn't. Don't know where that came from, but I will say it is nice to actually dress a little bit more casual than normal, since we're not having in-person meetings. And the other question was, is that your real hair? And I will say, yes, in fact, it is my real hair. I know it is quite unbelievably thick and lush. And it's just a little unfortunate that it is obscured by this glare right here. But yeah, it is my real hair, and I'm a little concerned that if these barber shops don't open soon, that's going to be a big problem for me, and it's going to get ugly real fast. So I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for reopening of barber shops. In any case, hope you're having a good day. Wanted to share a few updates with you that I've learned throughout the week that you might find helpful. The biggest one is, I'm sure you've all heard about the governor's move from a stay-at-home order to a safer-at-home order, and which is a little more less restrictive than what the stay-at-home order was. So it allows for some non-essential businesses to start doing some soft reopenings that we hadn't previously seen. We're still trying to figure out exactly what that looks like. I know there are a couple of calls later this afternoon that I'll be on with some state officials trying to figure that out and get some guidance on. But in any case, that's the direction we'll be moving. It is important to note, however, and this just came across this morning, that in Jefferson County, the public health department here has in fact extended the stay-at-home order to May 8th. And so nothing really is going to change for us here in Golden and in Jefferson County, at least for the next 2 weeks, on how we really operate. And I'm sure a number of the other metro area counties have been doing similar extensions of stay-at-home orders, so we'll look for that as well. But we're still trying to understand what safer at home is going to look like, because we do anticipate that in the weeks ahead we will be moving to that at some point. You should know that our management team continues to meet every morning, and we started discussing how we reopen city facilities when the time comes to do that, and start welcoming our community back into our facilities. I know they're anxious to get back into doing things and interacting with city government other than in online forums. So we're looking at that very hard right now, looking at protocols, making sure we're in compliance with public health orders. And I want you to know that as we talk through what reopening looks like, that at the top of our mind and of concern is the health and well-being and safety of our employees, as well as the general public who will be coming into our facilities. So stay tuned on that. We'll provide some more information to our employees as we look to reopen our facilities as we get into the weeks ahead. I don't know exactly when that's going to be, and quite honestly, there's not really a rush to reopen our facilities. We want to make sure that we're providing a good environment for everybody before we reopen. So we're going to continue to work on that and look for that in the days and weeks ahead. Last night we had our first city council meeting in probably, 5 or 6 weeks maybe. I guess it was the middle of March the last time we met. It was a virtual meeting, so it was not in City Hall. We all participated through WebEx platform, and the meeting went really well. A big thank you to our communications team for getting that together and working out the kinks and making sure that we were all on the same page. I think it went really well, and I know City Council was happy to get back to work and see each other and talk through some business. Two things that came up last night that I thought I'd mention today that we talked about a little bit with City Council. One is the budget. We had a report from our finance director on the first quarter financials, and we also talked about our budget projections going forward. So I shared a lot of that information with you in the last video message that I did last Friday, but we did share some more of that with City Council so that they were aware of our thinking. We're going to have better numbers on what sales tax revenue looks like probably in about 2 weeks. And so we'll have a better idea of where we stand on that, and I'll share information related to that as we learn more of what that looks like and how our budget might be impacted. And the other piece of information that we shared with City Council and had a discussion about was the Heart of Golden project here in downtown and along the Creek corridor. When we kicked off this project back in January, and actually late December, I think we started a soft rollout. It was exciting. We had an aggressive time frame to get this thing wrapped up this year, and at least the majority of it, the planning for it. It created a lot of community excitement and energy around it. We talked about the future of what the corridor could look like. People were excited. People had a lot of ideas, great turnout, great meetings, and we were excited to see what might be in store as well for our city government in terms of perhaps new facilities and new buildings. But that project, obviously COVID-19 impacts that project quite a bit. And I think council agreed that now is probably not the right time to be really pushing that aggressive schedule that we initially laid out. So we're going to put the brakes on that a little bit. We're not going to scrap the project. We're not going to end it, but we will slow it down and continue to take some input from the public online. But we're not going to really get into the meat of the discussion again until we're able to get the public back together in person and be able to engage with one another and have good conversation about it. So what that means really is that it's likely not going to be a ballot question in November for our residents to consider on whether they want to spend additional dollars and what funding source to fund improvements in the corridor. That'll likely be down the road. But just know that we're slowing down that project. I know there's a lot of other things right now on the minds of our residents and in the community. And so it's not, I agree, it's not the right time to keep moving that thing forward on the original time frame that we had laid out. So those are the updates I had for you today. This format, I guess, seems to work well. It's now that I figured out how to do it, it's just as easy as typing an email, and I think it works better for you to be able to see me. And I I do appreciate the feedback. I'm going to continue to try to do this on a fairly regular basis. If I can, I'll try to do it weekly, unless there's not a lot of updates to share. So continue to look for these, and continue to stay safe. I hope you and your families are well. I continue to think about you a lot, and hope that it's sooner rather than later that we can all be in the same room once again. So that's it for today, folks. Have a great weekend, and stay safe, and looking forward to seeing all of you again real soon. Take care, everybody.